invite a bunch of our friends to come and join us. But just to get us kicked off here, what I'd like to do is do a little group project. We're going to do a little coloring to get things started. So here's what I'd like you to do. At the top of your screen, there's probably a little green thing that says you are screen sharing or something about sharing screen. If you mouse over that, you'll see a toolbar show up and it says the word annotate. And if you click on annotate, you'll get another toolbar. Go to where it says draw, and you can pick any shape you want there. And if you watch here, I can actually color in parts of the picture just by drawing. So I'd like you to mouse over the green, click annotate, then go to where it says draw. And where it says format, you can also pick a color. And let's see if you can add your content to our picture here. And you can help us kind of draw in the picture. Go for it. Touch screen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Our plan is we're going to play here for just about 5 minutes or so, and we'll get to everybody comes and joins us. But this is we call this a soft start. It's kind of a fun way to get things started. So again, if you're just joining us, mouse over where it says screen sharing. I think I might say Jim Cain is sharing screen. And then you'll get a toolbar. Click on the word annotate, and you'll get another toolbar, and then click on draw. And you can pick colors there where it says format, and you can help us color in our picture as we wait for the rest of our folks to come and join us. Where the colors are at too, you can also pick different widths of lines. This is one of my favorite ways to kind of start programs these days.
Yeah. You color, I didn't get a string. Also, maybe figure out how to mute us.
Hey, hey, hey.
There's my friend Larry Hall. Hey, Larry, we're doing some coloring to get started. And those of you who just joined us, mouse over the word or the green where it says screen sharing. You'll get a toolbar that says annotate, and then select draw. And you can come join us in our picture. And if you hit stamp, you can also stamp some images on there. But I did this with about 200 people the other day, and they colored the whole picture in about 60 seconds.
Cool.
You're unmuted, so you can talk when somebody talks here.
Okay. I see Larry Hall.
I'm not seeing the green bar. It's a different color.
It should say something about Jim Cain is sharing a screen or something like that.
It's the view options black drop down next to the green bar that says Jim, you are viewing Jim Cain's screen.
I can't find it either.
So there's the word view options and a drop down, and then it says annotate in that menu.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, now I found it. Somebody else just did something.
Hey, and I'll just share with you, one of the nice things about Buckeyes is you get incredible instructors who teach you cool things and hope that you'll go home and share them in your community. I'm going to share the whole slide deck with anybody who wants it afterwards. So if this is something you would like to do with future groups, you can just email me and I'll send you this whole deck and you'll be able to do coloring. I just went online and looked up coloring book pictures and there's, millions of them online. I like this one because it's a little complicated. It's got plenty of things for people to draw on.
That's what I was trying.
Hey, Ted Zek, how's our population? How many folks have joined us so far?
We currently have 39 people here, and we had about 65 registered for the evening.
Okay. Well, let's spend another minute or two and see if we can finish as much of our picture as we can, and then we're going to continue rolling here. But I'll hand it back to our program people in about 5 minutes or so, just for the official welcome, and then I'll continue on.
Take it up by numbers, but I do. But you can't get there. No. I'll try it. There is no speaker on here all of a sudden. There it is.
Hey, Jim, do you got the puffins in the background?
Too loud. Yeah.
I'm looking for them. Where are they? Who was that was asking about puffins? Hi, Davina.
So where are we now? I don't know.
All right, for those of you who've been creatively drawing as we get started here, in that same menu bar that has the word draw on the far side on the right, you can save this image to your hard drive. So if you'll click on save, then you can have this picture as well. And as a reminder, and like I said, I'll be glad to share these files with anybody who wants to use them in the future. But give it about 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to clear the image. Otherwise, these pictures will carry over onto the next slide. So one more chance to save. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to clear the image. Last chance. And here we go. Nice. So question for you. We just got a few minutes here. We'll wait for the rest of the folks to kind of join us. From this image, if you've had an interaction with one of these toys, I would love for you to share that with the whole group. You can unmute yourself and have at it.
I have a Mr. Potato Head, but it's not that edition.
We start over.
I definitely had a light bright, just like the one in the picture.
I had a spirograph just like that.
Oh.
I heard they just reopened the Lego store. They said people were lined up for blocks. Bump.
My grandson loves to play Monopoly, but he was amazed at how different the old Monopoly game we had was from the one that he's been playing.
Pokey and Gumby.
Mystery date.
A puzzle with all those pictures on it.
I actually have a couple erector sets.
I growing up, I had a partial erector set. A lot of pieces have been lost by my older brother.
I had a Chatty Cathy.
Oh, lucky.
That version of Mr. Potato Head actually required a real potato for the head. It didn't have a plastic head with it.
Originally, you used a real potato, and they stuck things into it.
What they just said.
The Easy Bake Oven.
I think Operation should be on here too.
We had Tinker Toys.
All right. I'm going to hand it back to the committee, and they're going to do an official welcome, and then we're going to get rolling here.
All right. So there are 46 people here, which is amazing. Thank you all for joining us for our very first virtual Buckeye event of the weekend. We're really excited to share.
I have a picture. I have no
stuff
sound.
with you guys. Our plan for this evening is that Jim has graciously offered to provide some activities for us. And then Ted has been working really hard on making a video with interviews of former Buckeye participants to hear about their experiences at the workshop. So after Jim's activity, we're going to share that video with you that Ted has been working on. And then we're just going to leave it open for people to chat and talk and spend some time together. So thank you all for being here. We hope that you'll join us for more of the events over the next 3 nights.
That's what I just did.
And we're really happy to have you all.
What's this?
For the record, there's many more than 46 because I see doubles and triples in many of the pictures. So
We have the entire parish family.
All right. Are you guys ready for me to take things off?
Absolutely. Go for it. Thank you.
All right. We're going to get things started here. Hey, I'm so excited to be here. It's been one of my first Buckeye experiences recently, and I just pulled information from a bunch of sources for this. What I wanted to share with you tonight, I think is this. I have a friend named Martin Williams who is from the UK, and he mentioned in a book that we now live in a time when things valued in our past, like socializing, playing games together, hugging, shaking hands, and even physical proximity have become a source of anxiety and fear. We need to reintroduce these skills and experiences lest they be lost in the safest framework that we can, because these are the things that make life worth living. I love Martin's phrase, and I think it is something we really fully embrace at Buckeye in terms of learning by doing. I'll also share with you that I don't claim to be an expert in virtual facilitation. I'm just 15 minutes ahead of you. And what I mean by that is there's some really simple things we're going to do here tonight you can do to engage groups. We're going to get a chance to talk to each other. We're going to get a chance to play and enjoy some time together. So let's get started here. I'd like you to click on the chat feature. And inside the chat, I'd like you to look at this image and you tell me which of these blob figures is you right now. So if you're feeling like, you know, number 20, the guy who's there at the top, that's fine. You can type in 20 in the chat and hit return. But just go ahead and type your number and let's kind of see where everybody's at currently. So we call this the connection before content piece. It's our chance just to kind of get, you know, a feel for where the group is at. And I'm going to ask the technical people to get ready because in a minute or two, we're going to do our first breakout room. So if you'd have them in groups of 6 for about 4 minutes and a 1 minute return, that chart should work out just fine. I was asked this past summer to do a corporate virtual team building program for a company. And they said, we'd like to do an unstructured beginning. We'd like to just have people, you know, mention something personal and something professional that's happened to them in the last week. Everybody will talk for, you know, a few seconds and then we'll move on. Well, the first guy in the program talked for 4.5 minutes and it almost ate up all the time we had. So we found a very efficient way to get people to kick things off. Now, in a second, what I'm going to do is in the chat, I'm going to give you a file that you can open up and I'll load it in the chat and it's something you can download to your computer. Just give me a quick second here. And the idea is this. The soapbox is a really simple way. And I'm going to load this into the files on the chat. The soapbox just has 4 questions. And I'll give you an example. Hi, my name is Jim, and I do prefer to be called Jim. A unique skill that I have is my father and grandfather and I are square dance callers. And that's been a fun family tradition over the history. You can count on me tonight to do some engaging things in the virtual world. And what I know now that I didn't know before COVID-19 is that I can cut my own hair reasonably successfully. So that's what I know. And I'm going to invite somebody else, though, from our group. Davina, would you go ahead and do this for the group just so they get an example how this goes while the file is loading?
I can give it a shot. My name is Davina. I prefer to be called Davina. A unique skill that I have to share is that I'm learning Zoom just like everybody else. You can count on me to chime in at the most awkward moments. What I know now that I didn't know before COVID is that I actually can exist.
Nice, Davina. Hey, Barry Jolliffe, would you do it too and give us one more example?
My name is Barry Jolliffe, and I prefer to be called Barry. My unique skill is that I also call square dances and lead recreational dancing. You can always count on me to have a big smile. And one thing that I didn't know before COVID was that I don't like being alone all the time.
All right, well, if you look at the chat feature, you'll see a file that says Soapbox. What I'm gonna ask you to do is just click on that and open that so you can see it somewhere on your computer. Or when you get to the breakout room, if somebody can show it to the rest of the group, you can share screen in there as well. But I'm gonna ask our technical folks, we're gonna send you off in groups of about 4 to 6 people. You're gonna have a few minutes to share the soapbox with each other and introduce yourself to the people in the group. And if you get through all the questions, you can keep talking until the system automatically brings you back here. So technical folks, you can send them off to the breakout rooms whenever you're ready. But I would invite you to click on the soapbox before you leave.
Jim, I'm not seeing the file in the chat yet.
I haven't found a soapbox either.
Ah, okay.
Before I send everyone off, I want to make sure that they can see it.
It's a rectangular window.
Yeah, if you open the chat box, it's there. It says soapbox.png.
Right.
Oh. How do you open the chat box?
Oh, at the bottom center of your screen, there'll be a thing that said chat. It'll open up the chat box.
But then they want me to save it somewhere.
Just save it to your computer.
They want me to save it. Any particular place?
Oh, there's a chat box. Okay, I found the chat box.
It'll be
save it to your desktop.
Oh, just save it to the desktop? Okay.
Okay.
And I also put a virtual link in so you can also download it from this link.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and send everybody off to the chat.
See you in a few minutes, folks. I know you can hop around as a co-host to the different rooms. I try not to do that because I don't want to interrupt people when they're into something, but it's really fun. I know that there's wonderful things happening in those little rooms.
Yeah.
So are we up to 50 or so? How many people are here?
You know, once we call them back, I'll see. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the rooms.
That's fine. And thanks.
And it will call them back.
I clicked exit too soon.
Hi, Helen.
It said you have 58 seconds and I clicked on it. Boom. You're right. They were spinning off into a conversation and we were trying to reel them back in to let all the other 2 people get their soapbox questions in. Hi, Jim.
Helen, you're from my generation of Buckeye. I love that.
Yes. BRW.
And there's Robin from Kansas. Sweet. We should probably check and see where people are from.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey Amber, see if you can do this for me. Pull up a map of the United States, or like of North America or something like that, and we'll have people, place stars where they're from on it.
You got it. Just one
second. You don't have to share screen yet, but the simpler the better. Like a cartoon one will be just fine. So the first rule of breakout rooms in Zoom is you never have enough time in the breakout rooms. There's always more time for conversation. It's a little bit like Think Together when you just wish it would just keep going on because so many great things are happening. So here's what we're going to do next. It's kind of that one question that was in your the soapbox there. I would like to know what you've learned in the last year. Let's just say that it's been an interesting year. And a lot of things happened this year that I was fairly surprised at. So I'm going to do what I call a 6-word story. Now, I'll give you an example in the chat right now. I just typed in 6 words. Wonderful playing with you all tonight. And that's true. I'd like to know what you've learned in the last year in only 6 words, but don't hit return. We're going to do these all at exactly the same time. So you can make a sentence. You can have 6 separate words with commas in between. You decide, but I would like you to summarize everything you've learned in the last year in just 6 words. So type away, but don't hit return.
We call these chat explosions.
I heard the phrase chatterfall, and I like that, like a waterfall. Give you a few more seconds.
Hey, there's Dennis Elliott.
All right, on the count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, hit return. And let's see some of the cool things. Go ahead and scan through there and see what people have learned in this last year. Looks like some of you had a rapid learning experience this past year. I like that 6-word stories. It's a great chance for people to summarize what they've learned. One of my favorite icebreakers, and one that we've done over the years at Buckeye and other places, is I ask people a series of questions on cards. And this was one of the first activities that I converted from the real world to the virtual world. One person would read a question, their partner would answer it, and their partner would read a question, they would answer it, they switch cards, and they move on. So in the chat feature, you'll see there's a file that I've loaded in there called the big question. And if you go ahead and click on that, or there's also a link several lines lower, and this is before we did that whole chatterfall thing. Look for the big question, and it looks exactly like this. And the idea is we're going to send you off to a different breakout room with different groups than you had before. And this time, I'd like you just to ask these questions to each other. So we're going to send you off with a different group, get a chance to chat with them, and then come back and I have a musical entry happening next. So again, go above the chatterfall and you'll see there's a couple of files there. You want to click on the one that says the big question, or if you go below where it says ABC room, there's an HTTP. You can actually link on that and download that same document to your desktop.
Jim, I'm gonna mix the breakout rooms.
Thanks, Amber.
They have new friends.
New people to talk to this time.
Okay.
We're going to send you off for 4 or 5 minutes and then come back. And I would like you to get ready for a little intro to what's going to happen later in the week. We're going to have a trivia night that Barry and Christy are going to do. And I'm going to give you a little musical trivia tonight to kind of get warmed up and ready for that. So Amber, whenever you're ready. Off you go, and we'll see you in a few minutes. If I share screen when they come back, will they see that?
I believe so.
Okay. Let's find out from Barry Jolliffe. Hey, Barry Jolliffe, what do you see on the screen right now?
It says television show theme songs.
Good.
Some
You
guys
got the right.
Yep.
You got the right one.
Your face looks different, Jim.
Oh, get it out here. Here. I got this fancy light now. Let's see if I can get it working. Yeah, it's a little dark.
Everyone has returned, Jim.
All right, it's time for our next sequence. We're going to do a little thing called TV show theme songs. I've got 16 familiar to some people, television show theme songs. Go ahead and click on the chat feature. And this one, you can just answer by typing the name of the TV show in the chat. So I will go ahead and share these now. And let's see how many of the following can get there. Not all of them are easy, but if you got the answer, just type it into the chat and hit return. Here we go.
Making your way.
Nice. Very good. Doctor Who. Nice job, Parish family. You were the first one to get Family Ties.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like.
All right, this next one might be a little harder. TV show that was on for one season, starring Claire Danes. Nice, Janelle. Nice so-called life. Oh, you guys are doing great.
Here's of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. One way.
And the last one. Hey, I wonder if Christy and Barry would like to do a little promo for their program that's happening a little bit later in the week.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jim. So Friday night, we are playing trivia, and there will be a wide variety of questions that you'll have to put on your thinking caps a little bit, all about the culture, the history, the characters, the traditions of Buckeye. I'll give you a tiny hint. The person who can produce the rarest T-shirt will get kudos for one of our questions. Okay, there will be lots of others about songs and stories and all kinds of things Buckeye. So if you haven't yet registered for Friday night's great trivia challenge, then be sure to do that.
Thanks, Christy. What's tomorrow night's program, folks?
Amber, we're doing a virtual escape room tomorrow night.
Oh, outstanding. Tell me more.
Well, it is there's a time machine, and you have been sent back in time and have 1 hour to solve the puzzles in order to escape and return to your own time.
That sounds amazing. And then I think on Saturday night we have a sing-along. Is that right?
Correct.
Oh, man, what a great week. It makes me wish Buckeye was happening right now. All right, next image. We're going to do this all in the main room like this. I discovered there's a bunch of squirrels in the tree. And I just wonder how many squirrels are here. Now, some of you learn how to use the annotation feature, and you can try that. But as a group, take all the time you want. You have 60 seconds to tell me how many squirrels are in here. Ready, go.
I'm at 15.
There's a bunch of them that look like leaves, though.
I'm at 20.
I see 20.
I see 21.
21.
Amber says 35.
Whoa. I see a lot of birds.
Your eyes are better than mine.
I spotted some tails sticking out from behind things.
Yeah.
Yeah, tails and then like small heads.
Yep.
So what's our total so far?
Anybody counted just the circled ones?
It's 24 that are circled.
24 is the magic answer. Well done.
Good job, group.
Somebody draws really good circles.
Nor is it required. Hey, over the years, one of the amazing things that happened, and I didn't learn this activity at Buckeye, but it's certainly one that I've shared at places I go. In my world, I try to take a little bit of Buckeye with me in every program that I do. And over the years, you're seeing pictures here from New Zealand, the police force in the lower right-hand corner, groups in Hong Kong, a group from Buffalo, New York, right near where I live here. So kind of around the world, they're doing an activity called the Story of Your Name, where people are given an opportunity to tell the story of how they came to have their name, their first name, their middle name, their last name. And I just want to share with you a quick story. And this is the kind of Buckeye moment that I had from this activity. I was at a summer camp. I was doing a series of trainings, and we played this game in groups of about 4. So 4 people were sharing the story of how they came to have their name. And at the end of it, I said, is there anybody in the room that's got a great story of their name? You know, and so every single person in the room pointed to one gal who was there. Her name was Teresa. And they said, oh, you got to hear Teresa's story. So Teresa stood up and she said, well, here's my story. I was born on September 11th at 10 o'clock in the morning, 2001 in New York City. So it had been about 18, 19 years, since that event happened. And she was now a camp counselor at camp. She said, I was born at 10 o'clock in the morning. And my father, who works in the South Trade Center, was not at work that morning because my mother was having me. She said, so the first thing I did in my life was to save my father's life. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that is just the most incredible story of our name. So what we're going to need you to do now is in a mixed up breakout room. And I'd like you to share the story of how you came to have your name. If you have a nickname or a middle name you'd like to share, it's your choice how much you discover and how much you share. But at the end of it, I would invite the rest of your group to practice saying the name you have. And this is such a great way to honor new people when they come. You probably discovered, if you've been on Zoom meetings at all this year, that occasionally you encounter people whose names are unusual or perhaps hard to pronounce from the way they're written there. So it's your chance to share the story of your name. We're going to send you off and then bring you back in a few minutes. Go ahead and share the story of your name with the group you'll have in the breakout rooms. Amber, off they go. Click on your invitation and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Hi, Amber.
Hello, how are you, Barry?
Are we the only 2 sitting here?
No,
Nope, I'm here.
Everyone's back now.
Roll. Okay.
It's
So, Jim, how long have you
Buckeye.
been-
We use every last second.
All right, I'm going to invite you to go up to the top where your toolbar is at, and we're going to do it when we're drawing here. This time, we're going to hit annotate and then stamp, and there's a little heart or a stamp there. If you watch here, I'll just kind of demonstrate. You can add stamps like this to our picture, and the idea is I would like you to make one vote. You can stamp one time on the image that most reminds you of being at Buckeye. So which of these pictures most reminds you of what it's like to be at Buckeye? So mouse over the green part or hit on the toolbar. You want to hit annotate, then you want to hit stamp. And see if you can add your voice to this image.
Something together there.
And which one of these pictures do you think is most the way you feel when you're at Buckeye?
I can't make it work. It's a waste of my time. Makes me feel.
I had a friend named Dave Nobby who was working with school children, and sometimes it was hard to get them to speak in front of their classmates. So he wanted to find a nonverbal way that people could kind of register their vote or their image. And so he created a series of these pictures. These are called thumbprints. It was just a fun way to kind of get a group to non-verbally debrief after an activity. I'll give you a few more seconds and then you can hit save if you'd like to share this. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clear the images now. And we're gonna move on here. Let's do one more thing. There's one more image I wanted to share with you as a group. Just a second here. There we go. I will share this one because we asked some of you to bring a shoelace or a piece of yarn or something with you. Over the years, one of my favorite icebreakers is called Wrapped Around My Finger, where somebody would introduce themselves to the group as they were wrapping a raccoon circle, which is a piece of webbing around their finger. That's what the shoelace was for. So if you'd like to get more information out of people when you're doing icebreakers, even virtually, you can have them simply talk about themselves as they wrap the shoelace around their index finger. And for me, it's my favorite way to get more than just the names of the person and where they're from. A lot of fun ways you can get some additional information out of the groups you work with. And as I mentioned at the start of this program tonight, part of BIW Legacy is that instructors share everything they know freely. So if you like the things that I shared with you tonight, I'm absolutely willing to share this presentation. I can send it to you. If you'll just email me, it won't work if you type it in the chat, but if you send me an email at jimcain@teamworkandteamplay.com, I will absolutely send you this whole file and some fun things that you can do together to get groups to engage. And my plan was to kind of wrap us up just about this time at night and then leave a little bit of open time so we can continue to chat. But let's do one last activity here as a group. And this is one of my favorite ones. What I'd like you to do is this. Inside this room that's now visible on the screen is every letter of the alphabet. They're all in there somewhere. So we can annotate, we can circle, we can do things, but let's start with the letter A. And as a group together, a little bit of team building here, let's see if we can identify every letter of the alphabet from A to Z. Ready? Go.
A is on the ladder.
Stool.
B is on the chair.
C is on the bookcase over here.
D's on the other chair. Bookshelf to the right.
On the bookshelf.
On the right.
On the right, sorry.
E
He's on the
on the chair. E.
Where's F?
On the ceiling.
Oh,
Shadow.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Good catch.
E and J.
G's on the fireplace to the right.
H is on the left-hand lampshade.
Nice.
Oh, that
Ah,
Cool.
Everyone marks it.
The N are the books below the H.
Eyes on the floor.
Yeah, eyes on the floor there. Yeah.
A's also on the floor to the left.
J's on the chandelier.
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
One by one.
Floor.
Oh my gosh.
The K is to the
K's
left.
down. Yeah, on the K's on the floor on the left by the lamp.
Where's the L?
Stuck.
Right next to the K.
Oh, the big one. It's the leg of the table, right?
Yeah.
M's on the bookshelf on the right.
M's on the bookshelf and N is on the left-hand bookshelf.
Yep, straight ahead.
O is on the
O's on the
M.
O's in
Yeah,
the back.
P is on the mantle.
The mantle. Yeah. Q.
I like you a while ago.
Okay.
We need to clear it.
I think Q's in the corner of the fireplace. I think.
In the corner.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
R's in the middle.
R's in the middle. That was funny.
Where's S? Something curvy.
S is in the other lampshade, on the lamp to the right.
Nice.
It's really
Good
big and fat.
catch.
Big fat S.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there it is.
And I'm just going to clean it up a bit so you can see more. Where's T?
T's on the
T's on the
ceiling.
ceiling.
Yeah, T's up there.
Who's on the ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is on the bookshelf above the fish.
Yep.
W is on the right-hand bookshelf.
W.
Yep. Yep.
X is on the floor.
X.
And Z is in the picture.
Yep.
Upper left corner.
Oh, there. Yeah.
What about Y?
I leave it to Zach to find the Z.
Of course.
Y.
Where's Y? Yeah, where's Y? Where's Y?
Just put the Y.
There's several ends. Oh.
And the X. We went back to Z.
Oh my gosh.
Why are we looking for Y? Oh.
Y is on the floor right in front of the fireplace.
Yes, it's very
Light.
Kind of shiny.
There
Oh.
it is. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
nicely done, everybody here. I'm going to stop sharing here. Hey, on behalf of the Buckeye Planning Committee and the folks who kind of invited me, it's been an unusual year, but it sure has been fun connecting in kind of a virtual way. I'm so happy to see all of you tonight. I've got some new friends here, and I've invited some friends that I would love to see make it to Buckeye at some point in the future. So I'm going to turn over the program to the rest of the Buckeye Committee, and thank you all for being here tonight. And I hope you'll come back for the other evenings we have planned with great things happening. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, Jim, so much.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
You guys were not done, however. That concludes Jim's section. Jim would love for you to stay as well, and everyone else. He's got the video that Ted has put together with beautiful snippets from interviews from friendly faces that I'm sure many of you will recognize. And it's a bit of a montage of those interviews. And then afterwards, if you want to stay, we'll be around to just chat and catch up with folks that we haven't gotten a chance to see in a while.
Buckeye has always been a recharge for me, and I'm missing that recharge and not having experienced the workshop now in 2020 and 2021. So I'm anxious for next year that maybe we can get things rolling again.
What's my one word I would describe Buckeye with? Magical. It is just a unique and I don't know of any other event on the planet that feels like Buckeye does when you graduated it. People who are alumni of Buckeye Leadership Workshop have almost that level of connection that they do to their universities when they say they're an alumni. It's a really powerful experience.
Do you have any closing comments for everybody?
Can't wait until they can offer a real person in-person events again, and we can do it again. So I'll look forward to the next time I can come back to Buckeye.
You can feel intimidated by being that new person that comes in. But my first time going, I knew a few people by the time I went to bed that first night, I knew so many people, and it felt like I had been in this community of people for a whole lot longer than just a few hours. Buckeye folk just have such a welcoming vibe about them, and they envelop you into the fold very, very quickly. And the things that you learn from the people, from the sessions, from the meal times, it's life-changing.
It has been such a delight to me because I'd never directed music before for the most part. So it opened up a whole new world in directing choirs and cantatas for me after that as well. So you can get a whole new world from coming to Buckeye that you didn't even know was out there.
I would just say that it's such a great experience that we miss not being able to attend the workshop last year because of COVID, and because it's such a close-knit community, it just did not seem possible to overcome those challenges. So I think when we're able to safely gather together again, we're going to need it more than ever. So I'm looking forward to reconnecting with everyone, seeing new faces at the experience. I've done my best to bring people to Buckeye from across the United States, and everyone who's experienced the workshop has said very similar to my experience of like, this was one of the greatest things I've ever done.
And even like starting and being there the first night, I was still very hesitant of being there, but it's truly been a life-changing experience. I love BLW. I still like to talk to everyone from there and catch up when I get to see them. And like whenever I try describing BLW, the only way that really fully encapsulated the understanding of what BLW is just going.
It truly does impact my year to not be there, and I'm really looking forward to 2022.
That Buckeye is one of those anomalies. There are people who wait years and years to come to Buckeye, and there are people who have been coming to Buckeye for decades. And the reality is, especially if you're a solo practitioner of your job, so if you're running a small summer camp, or if you're, if you find you share an office of one with yourself, and what you need to do is build community and people you can talk to and people you can reach out to if you need help. And that's really what I would say. Buckeye will give you that community and give you people you can bounce ideas off of and potentially make lifelong friendships. So
I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what your background is. Buckeye will enhance you. It will make you a better person. One of the questions that Ted had presented was, can you have a word that would describe Buckeye? No, you can't describe it in many words. It is an experience that will stick with you the rest of your life. You'll want to go back again and again. You'll want to bring other people. It's just such a enlightening and eye-opening experience. I would recommend it to anybody.
I hope next year we get to have a real Buckeye. It was a real kick in the gut to not have camps last year, and then again to not have it this year. We're still hoping for 4-H camp. I was up with 31 4-H camp counselors last week, and we're planning on having a real camp for Wayne County this year. Keep the Buckeye spirit alive. And one thing I always say, Buckeye's never over. Buckeye's not over. Is every time you use something you've learned at Buckeye, Buckeye continues on. So that's what makes Buckeye what it is using what you learned there and spreading the Buckeye spirit to other people.
I miss you guys. Can't wait till we can see each other again in person. Hang in there and stay in touch.
There are people that you will meet that you would never have met in any other way, but it's that like-minded
individuals that are looking for inspiration and development. And if you can take this time, a lot of works even will give you professional development days, and you're able to get paid for coming. I know my work does. Just started this year. We get volunteer hours and professional development days. And so, amazing. But if you can find a way to try this out and to incorporate this into your year, I would say absolutely you won't regret it.
I miss it. I missed the last year and this year, how it's just life throws obstacles out, and it'll come back eventually. So that's what I'm excited for.
Obviously miss everyone. Buckeye puts a song in my heart. You know, I didn't talk much about Song Circle, but that's something music's a big deal in my life, and it's a fun place where anybody who wants to sing can, even if you don't believe you can. A lot of voices put together to make a song is a powerful thing, and I think that's what Buckeye leadership is. A lot of us pulling together can make the world a different place.
I love everybody at Buckeye, and I miss them so much, and I can't wait until we can see each other again, and I can't wait to meet all the new friends that I'm going to make. And yeah, I love you guys.
Well, one of the things that my husband Denny said after we came home from Buckeye, he said, this is how human beings can live with each other. This is a culture that exemplifies how people can live together. You know, and we don't see it around us. So it's very inspiring to be able to carry Buckeye within us and try to, instead of keeping Buckeye in a little bubble that we can only visit once a year, we need to think of it as a way that human beings can live with each other and spread it outwards. So that's how I like to think of it.
I would say come to Buckeye. You won't regret it. You'll meet all sorts of people who you may never have met otherwise and are all unique, but at the same time, it's like a family atmosphere the moment you get there. So it's just a really great experience, and it's unlike any camp or retreat you've ever been to before. So it's definitely worth coming to, and hopefully you'll come back again and again and again.
Just that I am ready for pandemic to be over, and I'm ready for March of 2022 so I can have Buckeye hugs and experience the wonderful weather that happens in March in Ohio and sing songs. You scoff at that, but Ohio weather and Florida weather are very different in March. And just sing songs and sit in a jam session and learn things and see those people that are so special to my heart.
Everybody should try at least everything they're comfortable with at least once. And Buckeye is that place to be able to do that. If it's a trust fall, I don't think we do those anymore. I don't know. I haven't taken those courses lately. Or a new arts and crafts thing, or if there's something that you want to share itself. I mean, I don't think you can find a better group of people to try that with, you know?
Hope that we get to see each other in 22, and hopefully some of the people who are missing can get back and all goes well. So
I guess if I had to say something for people that were watching this is every year it is hard to fit things in your life and in your schedule, especially when you're an adult and or a busy teenager. Some of my teenagers are busier than me by a mile. But it's hard to carve out 5 days, especially with people that you maybe don't know when you have a hard enough time prioritizing your friends and family already. But what I can tell you is the energy you walk away from Buckeye with will make the rest of that much easier to manage and embrace.
You know, Buckeye is just a fantastic opportunity. Even if you only can go once, it's worth it. It's worth the lifelong friendships. It's worth the knowledge you gain. And even if you are not one of those touchy-feely, huggy people, that's okay, because you will find something for you at Buckeye. Buckeye has something for everyone.
How do you close out that, huh?
I guess the same thing that old Fred Bruni used to say. He says, I really can't tell you what it is that's special about it. You got to experience it. You've got to come to Buckeye and get a little taste and pick up on that disease we call Buckeye-itis. And from that point on, you'll understand why people are so excited about coming to Buckeye and why they always want to come back. And it's an opportunity that we don't all have. And fortunately, we have one of the longest and most active Buckeye workshops, or leadership workshops, recreational workshops in the nation here in Ohio.
All right. So with that, I will do a quick advertisement for Sunday. The full version of all of those lovely interviews that I was blessed to be able to do will go up on our YouTube channel, and we will send all of that information out. And I think our plan is to do a kind of group chat on our Facebook page, as people can watch them on their own. I will say there's close to 3 hours of footage, and that's edited down. So we have quite a lot of participants. I will also say that if you did not get to do one of these and would like to, I will continue to do them as long as people are willing to sit on the other side of a Zoom call. Yeah, not even said that there's 3 hours. Yeah, it was great for me to do them. So yeah, so if anybody would like to do that, I will put my contact information again in the chat. If you can do this Zoom call, you have all of the technology and equipment that you need to participate, and I can do the rest. So thanks for everybody doing that. And yeah, we will put that up on Sunday. And now we get to just all talk and hang out with each other.
I'd like to, if I can, I'd like to say a little bit about Saturday night. Larry Hall and Tim Reynolds and myself and Amanda Raines put together a song sessions. And so if you've enjoyed circle singing, why there'll be a lot of people in the background singing with you, and it'll be a great time. So we've got about an hour's worth of music ready to go, and it'll be should be a good time for everybody that enjoys the music side of it. So come Saturday night, we'll be ready right at 7.
Ted, if it's okay with you, I was going to create a handful of breakout rooms and give them kind of funny Buckeye related names and let people choose if they want to go jump into a breakout room to just continue to chat for a little bit.
Perfect.